three things we're going to touch on are using playback, applying a strategy to a chart, and loading a template. Those are the three big subjects. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Tracy Anderson at the MP Lab, where we focus on analysis-driven architecture to strip away that market inducement and focus on true institutional intent. So today we're going to focus on how to automate strategies in NinjaTrader. I've had some questions about strategy. I posted the results from on the 30th of December 2025. And so we're going to use that as our example. But I want to take this opportunity to clarify that the MP Lab is not some scammy get-rich-quick scheme. Trading's hard. There are going to be losing days. We can look at these results. We posted just during the New York session, $4,815 of profit. Does that happen every day? No, it absolutely does not. I want to highlight it because it uses a number of our key tools, the MP Divergence, the MP Trail, MP Entry. But the reality is that it's hard work. You need to learn, you need to take the time to learn the tools. Just like as an experienced trader, you've learned a lot about the art of trading, then you apply these tools to your knowledge. Okay, so I highly recommend that you follow through on this video. Take the weekend, some time away from your standard trading hours. Use it on playback and get a practice just for the flow. There's lots of inputs, and you're going to have questions. Take your time so that we get it right. Being able to automate doesn't mean set and forget. You need to be aware of regime changes, what are local trends, high time trends, to increase your probability of success, knowing when to apply these tools. The really nice thing about the tools is that they allow you to automate a lot of the things that cause failure for a lot of traders. The hesitation, the second guessing, is this right? You can have a scripted set of rules that you know that have been back tested. You turn the strategy on, and it takes the trades that fit your set of rules. And it takes them with certainly under 100 milliseconds. It depends on your setup, but essentially lightning fast. And you can take it across multiple accounts with our trade copier. So this is the growth potential for experienced traders and how you scale your abilities through automation. I do want to point out a lot of the tools that you see out there flying around on Facebook ads and whatnot, they actually can't be used in strategies, and a lot of them can't even be used to trade with because they repaint. The signals come and go. The MP entry signals, once they print, that's it. You can actually even see where they're going to print up on candle close. So they don't repaint. They're fully tradable, and it can be fully automated. Let's get started here. The first thing we're going to need to do is get our playback ready. Playback is a really powerful tool that NinjaTrader provides. You can download up to 3 months of data on a rolling basis, and it's tick-based data. It's the real data. And so I continually download that, so then I can search back, further than 3 months and do my back testing. You don't have to have a connection. That's a service provided by NinjaTrader. So we come into our control center and we click connections. Okay, right now I have no active connections. I click on playback. Let me grab my magnifier here. So this is where we download the data. Okay, that's our first, because right now it's empty. So we want to select our asset. In this case, it was the NQ contract for March 2026. So we select the contract and we select the date that we want to download. So we want to make sure that we have the 30th, scrolled there, of December. Okay. So we have our 30th of December NQ contract. It's always a tick data series, and we download that. Okay. So we can actually review in Market Replay what sort of data we have. So let's see what sort of data we have for the March contract. So I've downloaded multiple days. For the indicators that require historical data, you need to download a few days before here. You can't just look at one day. You need to have the data for your EMAs and whatever other confluences you're using. So I have the 28th, 29th, and then our trading day for this example, the 30th. Okay. Once we have that, we hit continue. We get our nice little sound, and now we are connected to Playback. What you're going to get then, let's bring this down, is you get your time frame. So this is set up to start on the 28th and to end on the 30th. Okay, and then we have our playback speed. I'm going to go ahead and crank that up to max. So you have various amounts, but if you're, for example, if you're practicing manual trading, you want that on 1x. Now we've got our chart, and now we need to apply a strategy to the chart. There are two ways to apply a strategy to an asset. You can apply it directly to the chart, which is what I recommend, especially if using something like the MP Trail, where you have drawings on the chart. That requires it to be applied to the chart. Okay, so you have the asset and time frame on your chart, then that comes directly into your strategy. You can also apply it through, there's a tab at the bottom of your control center called strategies, and you can right click there and apply a new strategy there. That's not tied to a chart. You select the asset and time frame within the strategy, and it will trade that strategy on that asset in real time. In this case, we're going to apply it to a chart. So to do that, we right click on our chart, and I'll bring back up my magnifier here. So we right click on the chart and we click on strategies. Okay, that brings up our strategies window. These are all our available strategies. Okay, in this case, we're going to pick the MP strategy. So this is, for those coming from TradingView, our expert level of subscribers, this is the close approximation to the MP strategy builder in the TradingView ecosystem. This is its big brother in the NinjaTrader ecosystem. So we click on that, and then you're not able to adjust the settings yet because you have to add it to the chart. Okay, so now we've got to add it to the chart, and it's configured with some settings. Okay. On our Discord server, you'll see that we'll post some results, we'll post some long-term backtesting, and there's some collaboration within the community. We're able to share these templates back and forth. Instead of saying, okay, going through a list of 20 different settings, you can actually just share the templates and load them into the backend that NinjaTrader can access them. And so to do that, we come into template and we say load, and we are trading the NQ 1 minute template today. So we click that and we click load. And now that has all of our settings. So we're trading both directions, one contract, and it has all of our various settings. And you'll see that you have, my magnifier doesn't quite pick that up, that for each input, there is, on a tooltip, you can see exactly what each input is doing, how that's affecting the logic behind the strategy. One thing we want to do is we come into our strategy tab. This is often forgotten. So if you're not getting the results, the first thing to check is the strategy enabled? Okay, let's go ahead and bring this down here. Is the strategy enabled? So we want to check that, and now the strategy is ready to go. We've got our connection in playback. Strategy is enabled. You'll also notice that the strategy is green. So that means it is ready to go. Starting off on a nice 1-minute divergence. Flip straight to short. MP trail. Those blue triangles are the MP trail. Again, MP divergence got us on that nice divergence after the loss for a huge trade into a bearish divergence for another short. So now we can go back and there's our 48.15 profit, just like the video. We can scroll back and look at these trades. We can see here that we started out with that nice 1-minute divergence. Took this long. And one of the things that I have really found works great in my back testing is to use actually the MP signal candle as the invalidation. And this, my standard setting is to have it at 90% of the signal candle. So here in this case, it actually came to, looks like at about 50% of the candle retrace before it took off. And that's often the case. So then we came up, we flipped short, we followed an MP trail all the way down. It did not take this buy here because the MP reversal was saying, it's not looking like a pivot here. It spent too much time in this area. There wasn't a nice reaction like we had up here. So it did not take this long, which would have been a loser. Our NPR did set one divergence here. I'm sorry, that's not a divergence. It came on our trade. So we had a low here into here. It did take this first pivot for a small loss, part of the game. But then the MP divergence kicked in and took this beautiful long all the way to another divergence, which was from this pivot to this pivot, matching with our MP reversal for the divergence. And you can look that not even the signal, MP entry didn't even print from top to bottom. It trailed it the entire way. You can see here it just touched our level, but the top is not the top of the triangle, it's the bottom of the triangle. So for NQ, I use a 10-tick offset, and it kept us in the trade nicely. You can see here again, it came down towards our MP trail, here again, here, and just does a wonderful job of keeping us in the trade. And then the bearish divergence played out all the way to the close of our trade window at noon New York time. So that's how it played out. Until next time, be pro and always trade with an edge.